welcome to my channel, everyone. My name is Christine.
Christine, tell the people what to do. What's going on?
You always find happiness at the bottom of a bottle.
With Chris News. Hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be reflecting on 2022, like everybody else has been doing. And as I was thinking, I was like, wow, that year, last year, was actually a year of twos for me. Second year in my second decade of my second year of university. What a wow. So, like I said, we're going to be reflecting together on my 2022. The first thing is that I learned is you're truly your own limit. I mean, let me tell you, I have a habit of just applying for things and I want to see if I'm even qualified to do these things. So when I apply, I'm not really prepared for the follow through. They said that's gonna be different. So I applied to become a house committee member. And then I found out that I was accepted, so I did that this year. I applied to be a radio presenter. Then I was accepted again this year, and I was like, wow, the fact that I can even have a seat in these areas shows that maybe I do have something in me. So the fact that I got the opportunity to sit in these seats, in these positions, I was like, wow. And another thing, I applied at the end of the year to become part of the executive committee for my university society. Is basically the United Nations Association of South Africa. And I applied to be part of the executive committee. I just applied for these things and I got accepted. I was like, wow.
Wow, look at this. Do you know what this means?
I was literally, to be honest, I was about to apply for the chairperson position. Then I was like, you know what? I don't want to risk it. So, because I was prepared to be vice or any other position. I got secretary general, by the way. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm here now, and it really shows that I really underestimate myself, because every time I apply, I always expect to be rejected or expect that I got in because of certain advantages, such as not a lot of people applying, or I don't know, some type of fluke. But it's been proven time and time again, each time I've applied, that maybe there is something there. So you are your own limit. Apply and it shall happen. Another thing that I applied for this year was a student exchange program. To be honest, I have applied for this type of program. This was my third time applying. I applied twice in high school and I got rejected both times. So when I applied in university, I expected to be rejected, but I was accepted in the university, in the country that I wanted. But you see, because I expected to be rejected, I was not prepared financially. I did not look into the details of the costs of the flights and whatnot. And the fact that I applied at the beginning of the year means that I could have maybe been able to afford to go if I had bought my ticket early, done my visa early, just done everything early. But because you can't basically operate on faith when you go halfway. It's either you're fully believing or it's zero. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up. God gives you this blessing, and then because you did not prepare yourself to receive that blessing, you're forced to push it away, which is basically what happened this year. I was touched, but I was not surprised, because it was ultimately my fault. I actually have freedom to do what I want. Some people may say, duh, you're in university. When you grow up in a household where you ask for everything, when I say that, I mean you ask to go out, you ask to go out, and And then there's also asking for money to go out. Like, it's just, the premise is just to go out in general.
Oh, brother.
And then you're in an environment where you can just go out whenever you want. If you want to fly to go to Durban, you can do that if you want. And it's like, wow. Even the fact that my dad asks me when I'm coming home still surprises me till this day. It's like, wait, hold on, I can choose? Like, what? Before I had a non-negotiable curfew. Like, it's just amazing. You may say, didn't you experience this in first year? No, because the government was telling us when our curfew was. And honestly, I was at the same time very hesitant to go out because of COVID, and I didn't want to get sick and then go home, and then maybe because things are uncertain, I don't know, maybe I'm doing full-time online at home. Depressing. No. So the sky really is the limit. I had a taste of independence this year, like a financial independence. That's the type of independence I'm talking about. And let me tell you something. You can't talk to me anyhow. You can't, because like that taste made me want more. And like this year I am determined. I am determined to get exactly what I want. And I know it's gonna require so much discipline, and it is definitely going to be part of my vision board, which I have not done yet. I'm like, brainstorming, if you call it that, because I'm just writing down random things that I want for this year, and then I'm going to narrow it down, because like if you have too many goals, most likely you're not going to achieve most of them. So, well, for me, so I want to be very focused on what I want and draw the strategy. So yeah, like so by that taste of financial independence, let me tell you, like in 2021, what I wanted to do for my 21st was to fly out to Cape Town and basically just have fun. I have friends in Cape Town, so and I hadn't seen them for like almost 3 years at that point. So yeah, I was gonna fly there, have fun. Obviously we're gonna have nails, toes, hair, did everything, and that didn't happen because of COVID. And this year I was determined. I was like, we're celebrating 21 at 22.
I've been suffering. I suffered for 19 years. It's time for me to shake my ass on a yacht.
And this December I had a blast, my 2 weeks, then came home, went on holiday again. It was just like a triple holiday experience, and now I'm tired. Like, people did not tell me that going on holiday trips is actually tiring. I need a holiday from the holiday. So currently I am okay with doing nothing. I'm okay with not going out because my body is tired. I still want to socialize, but then I know, like, I'm gradually building my social battery up again, because I need my body to keep up with my mind at some point. So right now I'm accepting my body's like, okay, rest, and I'm resting. But once we are back up again, we are running. There's this analogy in terms of social batteries that I was sent to by one of my friends, and I'm gonna like post a picture. I hope I still have it, of what it looks like. And basically it's like, it has three pictures of batteries, right? There's a full one, there's the one that is like, I think halfway, quarter, and then there's the one that's almost dying. So basically when your battery is like a quarter way to like finishing, that's when you should rest. You shouldn't rest at a point where you're like dying, like feel like you're dying and then you rest, because that leads to burnout. And I experienced that this year for the first time. Like, I did not rest when my body told me to rest. I was like, no, you're being lazy, push through and whatnot. And that worked for a season. But by the end of this year, let me tell you, during exam season, I was finding it very hard to study. Not because I was not interested in the content. Like, okay, I will say when you're burnt out, you kind of don't care about a lot of things. So for instance, I did study, and then there was my one module, French, which I was struggling in, specifically in the grammar area. And I reached a point where in the evening, the night before the exam, I was like, you know what? I'm tired.
I'm done. I'm done.
If I fail, I fail. If I pass, I pass. Like, I am done. That's because I was mentally exhausted and and during exam season, I was going out because if I stayed inside, I was gonna be stressed.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
So I was going out, like I went for go-karting for the first time. I went to get my nails done to prepare for my Cape Town holiday. Went to get my hair done. I passed my second year, by the way. I'm just saying, I did pass. But that one module, I did not do well in. I'm just gonna be real with you. There are consequences to some of your actions. When you're tired, rest. No, you're not being lazy. Your body is telling you you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And yeah, I don't know if I'll apply this in the future, but for now it works for me in this current season. Allow your relationships to have revolving doors. Sometimes it's necessary. When I say relationships, I don't mean romantic, please. I mean friendships. The reason why I'm saying this is because people are in different seasons. Some people are getting married, some people are finishing university, starting new jobs, some people are starting university, other people are basically in different seasons of their lives, putting them in different areas. And even if you're in the same area, you often have clashing timetables. You have built different communities in the areas you're staying in, which means like you have people that are now closer to you than your friend was or those friends were. So by revolving doors, I mean like it's impossible to expect your friend that you used to see every day in high school to speak to you every day on the phone when you're in different institutions doing different things, because timetables are clashing. You have different friend groups now, and the best thing you can do is have catch-up calls. Even if you haven't spoken for a month, you know this person cares about you and you care about them. If you feel like there's some wavering in your relationship, talk about it. Like, communication is good. So I've just adapted the concept of having catch-up calls with people. Just because we're not in the same location and we don't talk as often does not mean that I have a problem with you. It's just we're adjusting. That's how you keep connections in life and make use of the technology that we're blessed with, where we can still communicate with people even when they are 20,000 kilometers away. And on that same note of community, make use of your community, because I have a very supportive family and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I tend to keep the same circle of friends. Like, if I have two good friends and I'm happy with them, I'm okay with staying like that. But then, like, I learned I shouldn't become closed off like that, because when other people come into my life, I shouldn't feel the need for them to reach the same level of intimacy as my inner circle. Like, they can be my friends in, like, your going out friends, your Christian friends, your coffee friend. Like, life is so different, it's so diverse. So I'm still trying being involved in a community. For instance, my church, I started serving. I will say I'm still trying because I'm still on probation. So I have not completed it because, to be honest, I was not prioritizing going to church. I just had too many things on my plate, and going to church was not a priority for me. I'm just being real. And that's gonna shift this year, because if you want things to move, you need to have Jesus involved. And I met a couple of cool people who I believe that they would be really good friends if I actually invested my time. There's some people who offered to be there for me in a season where I was very down, and they offered to go out for coffee and things like that. And to be honest, I didn't take them up on their offer because I always use the excuse of my social battery, but it's just that I was comfortable with the people that I already know, which is okay for some, but not for me, because I like being involved with people. It's just that, my social battery needs to be exercised for it to grow, and I want it to grow. I don't want it to stay like this. I love meeting new people, love having new experiences, because the more people you know, the more diverse experiences you have in this world. Apparently, this is something I learned. Apparently, you can't solve your one issue that you thought you had when you go for therapy 3 times. Because in my mind, this year I tried therapy for the first time, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, by the first session, I should be like halfway done with fixing this problem. By the third session, we should be wrapping this up. But every single time, this happens to everyone. That one problem is actually linked to another problem which is involving your childhood.
Yes. What? You don't say. You don't say. You don't say.
And let me just say, we do not even like scrape the surface, but it was really helpful for me to go to therapy for the first time. I just like telling a stranger my problems. The reason why I like an objective opinion from a stranger is I really want someone to tell me the truth, like whether I'm just victimizing myself or I'm like operating in self-pity or I actually really need to solve a specific issue. That's the reason why I like the concept of like, you know, talking to a therapist. And yeah, you know, I'd like to believe that they have the tools to help me, but if I'm being honest, I feel like I haven't gone for enough sessions for me to say, oh my gosh, this is life-changing.
What? Hold up. Hold.
I'm not debunking therapy or anything like that. I'm just letting you know how I felt in my 3 sessions. Other people have gone for way more than that and seen the results, and other people have not. So I have seen progress, but I have not seen, I am afraid that I haven't like solved those issues in a way that would prevent me from going back to that, you know, sad place, you know. So yeah, that's just a reflection of my 2022. I tried to make it as structured as possible. Maybe I'll be able to number these things as I'm editing this video, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not promising to do a vision board because I don't know if I'm going to do one. And yeah, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. And if you want to see another type of video, other type of content, please let me know and I will deliver.